Good afternoon. Today is the 11th of April and it's time to continue the regular series we do, looking at the top 10 best-selling cars of each month. And so this time it is the top 10 best-selling cars of March 2023. In many ways, March 2023 continues the trends we've seen in the UK car market for some considerable time, although obviously the figures are an awful lot higher than we would normally see. The top month for registrations in this country, I use the word sales and registrations almost interchangeably within this whole thing because it's easier for me to remember that way. But yes, they're technically registrations. I call them sales. I have to just say that every time I do this. But the sales are normally highest in September. March is the second highest month for them. And yeah, there are various sort of trends that go on with the global market as a whole. We're a special case over here in some ways. But we've got some good news. The sales are actually up by about 18% over March 2022. Now, yeah, some things are much higher, some things are much lower. Some of the brands are doing well and some are not. It's really sort of mixed picture that we normally talk about. If we look at the power source breakdown, we can see that the forbidden fuel diesel, I shouldn't talk about that, should I? That had quite dramatic tail off. Not that it hasn't been having that for some years now anyway, but the percentage change of that has been about 20%. Market shares dropped from 5.6% in March 2022 to 3.8% last month. And the number of sales has gone from about 14,000 to about 11,000. But that's the only segment that's actually gone down. Now, there are some segments that have increased, but by below 18%. So those are still not really actually showing a growth that's keeping up with general market trends. But if we look at petrol, for example, the next one on here, petrol cars are still by far the biggest single sector. The market share has only declined very slightly. It's gone from 42% to about 41%. It's a 16.5% increase, but because the overall market is up by 18%, it's not quite keeping pace. Even though that shows an increase from 2022. So, for example, the number of petrol cars sold in March 22 was about 102,000. It's now 119,000. But because it's less than an 80% increase, the market share has actually dropped very slightly. Mild hybrid petrol, this has gone up quite a lot. This is so many cars now. So many cars have little mild hybrid systems. Suzuki's, Volkswagens, Kias, I could go on. The market share of this was 13.4% in 2022. Last month it was 15%. The percentage change is actually 31% up. And number of cars sold has gone from 33,000 to 43,000. The mild hybrid forbidden fuel cars, this isn't a huge segment. It's actually larger now, though, than the purely forbidden fuel cars. The market share has dropped very slightly from 4.8 to 4.5%. Percentage change is actually at plus 12, but that's why the market share is slightly down, because although the change is still positive, it's not keeping up with the overall market. So that's probably not a sector we're going to see too much of in the future. I mean, obviously by 2030, we're not going to see much of most market segments at all, apart from pure battery electric and some plug-in hybrids haven't been specified yet. That might change. We might have an extension on that. I don't know. But the mod hybrid forbidden fuel ones in 2022 in March, it was 12,000, it's now 13,000. Battery electric, pure electric cars. The market share of this has stayed remarkably consistent. So it's 18.6% change, but that just reflects the overall kind of in the market. So it's almost slowing down now. almost, but not quite. Second-hand values electric cars have actually now dropped a little bit, whereas everything else is still very high. Market share in March 22 for battery electric vehicles was 16%. It's now 16.2. Percentage change has gone from 18.6, as I said before. The number of cars sold has gone from 39,000 to 47,000. Plug-in hybrids, market share has gone from 6.6%, 6.2%. Although it's at a 12% increase, it's not keeping up with the overall market. Even though the number of cars has increased, that's not really statistically significant to me particularly, but there we go. Then March 22, 16,000 cars sold. March 23 is 17,000. Hybrid electric vehicles. This is standard hybrids, all sorts of things now. Suzuki's, Toyotas, Hyundai's, Kias, loads of them. Market share's gone up from 11.4% to 13%. Percentage change is 34%, so well over the overall percentage change. Number of cars sold has gone from 27,000 or thereabouts in March 22 to 37,000. The overall number of cars sold has gone from 244,000 to 288,000, so significant increase. Let's look at the private, fleet and business sectors now. So these have had some changes. Business sector is very small in this country. That's gone from 2.8% of the market to 3% of the market. Not really an awful lot of change there. And a 26% increase, so well above the actual market. But we're only talking 7,000 cars to 9,000 cars. The fleet sector, very, very big in this country. It's actually now, for the first time in a while, gone past the private sector sales. Market share was in March 2022 41%. It's now 49%. Percentage change is 41%. Number of cars sold has gone from 99,000 to 140,000. With the private sector, it's almost the same. Percentage change is a lot smaller. It's only 1.4%, which means actually the growth has slowed. Market share was 56%. It's now 48%. Number of cars sold has only increased by about 2,000 from 137 to 139,000. Let's look at the best part now, which is the best sellers from last month, from March 2023. The Tesla Model Y, because I think a shipment of Tesla must have come in, because they are not registered by conventional franchise dealers in this country. They're registered by Tesla UK themselves, and so they all come in a batch on the boat, and they all get registered together. It's not like, they go to the dealers and they register them, put the plates on. They all get registered by Tesla UK, and then you go to your nearest Tesla centre owned by the manufacturer, and you either pick it up or you get it delivered. So these registrations or sales are very much affected by the shipments of Teslas that come in, more so than any other brand, I think. Where Mercedes also, I think, uses an agency model now, well, so they're sort of similar to Tesla in that way. So top selling car, the Tesla Model Y, 8123, 8,123. Second is the Duke, Nissan Duke, 7532. Third is the Nissan Qashqai, 6755. The Qashqai is quite new, but it's selling very well. The Duke, I can't remember. I don't think that's built in this country anymore. The previous one was. The Qashqai definitely still is, actually, built in Sunderland. Then we've got the Korean twins, the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson. Fourth position in the Kia Sportage, we slightly prefer Kias to Hyundais in this country, 5888. The fifth position is the Tucson, 5680. They are pretty much the same car underneath. I did a Sportage review last September, and that was really good, actually. It's a decent car. It's not particularly my sort of thing, but it's pretty good. Tucson's very similar, same chassis, same engine, same powertrains, some same switchgear inside and everything. The Puma outsells the Fiesta now considerably, although they're the same car underneath. Obviously, the Fiesta's finishing production in June. The Puma is 5652. The seventh position is the Vauxhall Corsa, 5588. So very close in this sort of part of the table, fourth position to ninth position. It's only a matter of about 700 registrations. The Mini hatch, I think we should call it specifically because there are other Mini models. It's 5401. The Yaris Cross, I did a Yaris Cross actually on the channel about a year ago when I went to the SMMT event at Millbrook in Bedfordshire. It's not been a very successful video. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best car I've ever driven. It's okay. They're all right. They seem to be good sellers though. Ninth position, 5,214. And then still in the top 10 is the Fiesta, which is great. People love the Fiesta. After for ages, it's funny it's going away really, but there we go. Being discontinued. 4792. Let's now turn to the favourite part of the video that I have, and it's looking at the individual breakdowns of each manufacturer. We'll look at the market share from last year, compare it with last month, and we'll see how many cars they sold and look at the percentage change. Abarth, we always start with them as a Stellantis group brand. Abarth don't really have many combustion cars left to sell. I think they've been transitioned into electric-only brands, so maybe someone in the comment section can confirm that for me. But percentage change has been very dramatic. The market share has dropped from 0.09% to 0.02%. Number of cars sold has gone from 207 to 62, and that's a 70% decrease. What about their colleagues over at Alfa Romeo, another Stellantis brand? So bear in mind, with any of these percentage changes I'm reading out, the figure you're looking at for the average is 18.2% increase. Anything above that is actually an increase in market share. Anything below that is a decrease in market share. So Alfa Romeo, percentage change is -9. Market shares dropped from 0.1 to 0.08. Number of cars sold, not that changed very much though, from 2462 to 3. Alpine, remarkably consistent. 46 last year, 49 last month. Market share still 0.02. The percentage change says it's 6.5% up, but it's so small it's not very significant. Now we get into the really big sales with Audi. Audi, 24% increase. Market share has gone from 6.3 to 6.6%. Number of cars sold though is dramatically increased. It's gone from 15,000 to 19,000. It's one of the best sellers this month. Bentley, not a huge amount of change. Sold only 3 cars more than March 2022. 247 versus 250. The market share has actually dropped slightly though from 0.1 to 0.09, which apparently is a 1.2% increase. BMW not doing as well as Audi by any means. -3% decrease in market share. 6% versus 5%. Number of cars sold though is slightly decreased from 14,950, so almost 15,000, to about 14,463. So a genuine decrease. BYD, we can't really count that yet. They have some Atto 3 or something, their new car. Nothing to compare it against, so we'll continue. Citroën, they have had a good month. Another Stellantis brand, but doing much better than Alfa Romeo and Abarth. 28% increase. Market share has gone from 1.7 to 1.85. Number of cars sold has gone from 4151 to 5328. Cupra, massive increase for Cupra, 191%. Market share has gone from 0.42 to 1%. I don't really know why particularly, but there we go. Maybe there's lots of people buying Cupra Borns. I don't know. Number of cars sold has gone massively up from 1,000 to 3,000. Massive. Dacia, very good for Dacia as well. I'll have to look at Renault and see if that's reflected in theirs as well. Dacia tend to do better in this country than Renault though. 31% increase. Market share has gone from 1.3 to 1.4%. Dacia's sales have gone from 3,100 to 4,100. Deus, another Stellantis brand, Citroën, they haven't had the best month, but they've outsold Alfa Romeo. 10% increase. Market share's dropped slightly though because that's under the overall market. It's gone from 0.13 to 0.12. Number of cars sold has gone from 305 to 337. Fiat, not good. Minus 70% decrease. They really do need some new models, actually. I think there are some in the pipeline. Number of cars sold has gone from about 4,000 to about 3,400. The market share has gone from 1.66 to 1.17. 17% decrease. Ford are almost a top brand for last month, as you'd expect, but they're not quite. They haven't sold quite enough Fiestas and Pumas and things to sort of keep up with the top brand, which we're going to come to towards the end of the list. It's a 14.5% increase, but the market share has only gone from 7.3 to 7.09 because it is below the 18% increase in the overall market. Number of cars sold though has gone up from 18,000 to about 20,400. Genesis, tiny brand in this country, big increase of 151%, but that's only gone from 70 cars to 176. The market share though has increased. It's actually doubled from 0.03 to 0.06. GM Aura with the Aura Funky Cat, nothing to compare it against, so we'll move on really. Honda, very good month for Honda, surprisingly actually. They've gone from 1.15% of the market to 1.66, and a 70% increase. Yes, from 2,800 cars to 4,800 sold. That's massive for them. Hyundai, again, well above the overall market, 23% increase. Don't know why particularly. They do have some good cars, actually. Number of cars sold has gone from 11,000 to 13,500. The market share has gone from 4.5 to 4.7%. Jaguar, 16%. 16% decrease, actually, so not too good. Very different from Land Rover, who are their sister brand. Their market share has gone from 1% to 0.7. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,300 to 1,900. I read somewhere, I think they're thinking of reinventing Jaguar as a brand. Some of you might know a bit more about that. Jeep, very good for Stellantis. Their market share has gone up by 45. Sorry, their sales has gone up by 45%. The market share has gone from 0.13 to 0.16. Number of cars sold has gone from 319 to 462. Kia, not as good as Hyundai, but still some very big sales, almost the same as Audi actually. Their market share has gone down slightly though, because the sales has only increased by 11%. It's gone from 7.3% to 6.9%. Number of cars sold though, of course, is up from about 18,000 to about 20,000. Wow. Not as good as Ford though, of course, and the brand that we haven't discussed yet. Land Rover, much better than Jaguar, 64% increase. Market share has gone from 2.8% to 4%. Number of cars sold has gone from 7,000 to 11,000. Gosh, they're almost selling 10 times number of cars as Jaguar at the moment. Almost, not quite. Lexus, not the best. I don't know why. We're not very enamored with Lexus in this country for some reason. I don't know why. Jaguar outsold them. Yeah, they did. Lexus' market share has gone right down from 0.8% to 0.5%. The sales percentage decrease is 27%. Number of cars sold has gone from about 2,000 to about 1,500. Maserati, 87% increase in sales numbers. Market share has gone up from 0.04 to 0.07. Number of cars sold has almost doubled from 105 to 196. Maxus, I don't know why that's in the car section. Who knows? But nothing to compare it against, so we'll move on. Mazda, very good month for Mazda. One of my favourite brands actually that sell cars in this country. 44% increase, very good. Market share has gone from 1.4 to 1.7%. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,500 to about 5,000. Mercedes with their agency model. Number of cars sold has gone up, but the percentage of the market share has not. 9% increase. Market share has gone from 6.2% to 5.7%. The number of cars sold as well has gone from 15,000 to 16,400. It's better than BMW, which is unusual for Mercedes these days. MG, predictably, increase 31%. Market share has gone from 3.9% to 4.3%. Number of cars sold has gone from 9,400 to 2,200. Have they outsold Mini? Yes, they have. Mini, despite an increase of 47% and appearing, I think, 9th in the chart, their market share has gone from 2.1% to 2.6%. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,000 to 7,500. Who would have thought that MG would be comprehensively outselling Mini? Nissan, though, comprehensively outselling both of those. Their sales increase has been 67%. Their market share has gone from 4.2% to 5.9%. Number of cars sold has gone from 10,000 to 17,000. Peugeot, another one of Stellantis brands, is not doing so well, unfortunately. Not sure why, particularly. 11% decrease. Market share has gone 4% to 3%. Number of cars sold has gone from 10,000 to 9,000. Polestar, which some people count as a Volvo, but it is a separate brand. It's rather like DS and Citroën. 105% increase. Market share has gone from 0.3 to 0.6%. Number of cars sold has gone from 800 to 1,600. So it's pretty much doubled, actually. We're still seeing the effects of a lot of people ordering electric cars at the moment and then sort of having to wait a long time, and then they're finally arriving about now. So Renault, not as good as Dacia in terms of their sales increase. In fact, it's a decrease of 28%. The market share has gone from 2.2% to 1.3%. Our number of cars sold has gone from 5,300 to 3,800. Seat, much better actually. They outsold Renault. Yeah, they did. 29% increase. Market share has gone from 1.6% to 1.7%. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,800 to 4,900. But their colleagues at Skoda, which are very similar underneath to Seat and Volkswagen and Audi, of course, their percentage increase is 38%. Their market share has gone from 2.2 to 2.6. The number of cars sold has gone from about 5,400 to 7,500. Smart, I'm not going to count actually, because the #1, which is the new one's not really on sale at the moment. So the figures look a bit weird. I think you can just about still buy one of those electric Smarts that's sort of based on the same platform as the old Renault Twingo, but I don't really know. Maybe somebody can tell me about that. SsangYong, not the best. They've actually had a market share drop very slightly from 0.1 to 0.09. Sales is up by 8%, but of course the market's up by even more. So the number of cars sold has gone from 238 to 257. Will they rename themselves to KG Mobility? I don't know in this country. That's up to the importers, I think. Subaru have done better than SsangYong. They don't normally. They didn't last March, but they have this time. They've had a 131% increase in sales, and it's gone from 0.08% to 0.15% in market share. Number of cars sold has gone from 193 to 445. That might just be because the new Solterra is now out, and maybe some demos are registered or something. I don't know. Maybe they're in showrooms now. That's very similar to the Toyota BZ4X is the name of that. I'm not very familiar with that car particularly. I've seen a couple of reviews of the Solterra and that, but I'm not sure I'd buy either of those personally. I don't know how to look at them really. That's just my personal opinion. Suzuki, quite good, 20% increase. Market share's gone from about 1.49 to 1.52. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,600 to 4,400. Tesla, although it's actually a decrease in number of sales and a decrease in market share, because that load of Model Ys has come in, they're the best selling model for this month, but not the best selling make. I actually find that somebody a little bit further down the chart has more than double the number of cars sold as they have. So yes, 13,000 cars sold in March 2022. Last month, 10,500. Most of those Model Ys. Toyota, much better than Tesla. 19.5% increase, so above the general market. Which has gone for them, the market share 6.6 to 6.7, very slightly. Number of cars sold, though, has gone up from 16,000 to 19,300. Vauxhall, they have lost some market share, actually quite dramatically. They've actually decreased their sales a little bit. It says here by about 6%. Market share has dropped those more than that. It's dropped from 5.3% to 4.2%, and the number of cars sold has gone from 13,000 to about 12,000. Volkswagen, though, they are the best-selling brand in this country. Once again, they have gone from 6% of the market to 7.6% of the market. Number of cars sold in March 22 was 15,000. Last month, 22,000. So they beat Ford, as they seem to do a lot at the moment. 49% increase in sales. Volvo, last one in here, they have not had the best month, considering that Polestar is doing so well. So 10% decrease. Market share has gone from 2.6 to 1.97. Number of cars sold has gone from 6,300 to 5,700. And overall, number of cars sold in March 22 was about 243,500. It's now 288,000. That's an 18.2% increase. So there we go. Were there any surprises on this list for you? Do let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like this video in the comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more not really penetrative marketing analysis.